UFC 324 takes place this weekend. For our headline, we got Justin versus Paddy Pimblett. And our co-main event, we got Seanomalley versus songyadong. I'm going to give you my picks and predictions for the whole fight card, so let's get into it. Opening up the card, we have Adam Fugit versus Ty Miller. Adam Fugit's record is 10-5, and he's 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Ty Miller is undefeated. He's 6-0 with 1 no contest, coming from an eye poke. He is primarily a striker and looking to keep the fight on the feet, while Adam Fugit is a wrestler looking for that takedown. But from fight footage, Ty Miller should be able to scramble and get up and to defend the takedown. And also, Adam Fugit is very chinny. He's been knocked out 2 times in his last 3 fights. And Ty Miller's got that power and ability to get the knockout. So I think he should be able to get the knockout in the fight. And if not, he should win by decision. So give me Ty Miller by KO or decision. Next up, we got Ricky Turcios versus Cameron Smotherman. Ricky Turcios is 13-5, and in his last 5 fights, he's 2-3. He's primarily a wrestler and is looking to keep you down. Cameron Smotherman is 12-6 with his record, and he's 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He's primarily a striker and is looking to piece you up. What is scary about this fight is that Smotherman was taken down and controlled for over 9 minutes against Ricky Simone. As we mentioned, Ricky Turcios is looking to take you down. So if Ricky's able to take him down, I don't know if Smotherman's going to be able to get up. But we have seen Turcios be gassed and not win the fight because of that with Raul Rosas Jr. This is more of who's going to win the race. And in my opinion, I think Smotherman should be able to knock out Turcios in the second round, maybe the third, by defending the takedown, gassing Ricky, and then just piecing him up. So give me Smotherman by KO in round 2 or 3. Up next, we got Josh Hokit versus Denzel Freeman. Josh Hokit 7-0, and he's actually, I'm going to say this, he's 235 pounds. And Denzel is 7-1, and he's 260. So we got a big weight difference, which is scary because obviously this is a heavyweight bout and they're both wrestlers. But Josh Hokit has been improving with his hands. You know, he got a knockout that no one expected in his last fight. But Josh Hokit might get desperate and be looking for some takedowns. And Denzel should be able to deny the takedown. And if not, he can even capitalize and defend the takedown and take Hokit down. And he might just write a decision. Everyone's going with Hokit. The crowd's going with Hokit. Even Hokit by KO. I'm actually going to go with the opposite. I think Denzel's going to win, and he might win by a decision. So the first underdog, Denzel Freeman by decision. Up next, we got 2 UFC veterans in Michael Johnson and Alex Hernandez. Michael Johnson is 25-19 and is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. And Alex Hernandez is 18-8 and is also 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Michael Johnson is primarily a striker, likes to keep the fight on the feet. Meanwhile, Alex Hernandez is a very well-rounded fighter. I think what's going to happen is the fight's going to stay on the feet until Michael Johnson cracks Alex Hernandez. That's when Alex is going to try to take down Michael Johnson, but Michael Johnson should be able to defend the takedown and maybe even knock him out. I'm saying this because we've seen Alex get rocked before against Billy Q and Donald Cerrone. So I can't trust Alex's chin, and I think Michael Johnson's going to go for that KO. So give me Michael Johnson, the UFC veteran. He's cashed before, and he's going to cash again. The second dog of the card. Next up, we got Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. Alex Perez is 25-10, and in his last 5 fights, he's 1-4. But don't get it twisted. He's been fighting good opposition. That's why he's 1-4. Charles Johnson is 18-7, and he's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Charles Johnson loves to keep the fight standing, and Alex Perez is a well-rounded fighter and likes to mix it up. He likes to take you down, strike, and he typically is winning until he isn't. In his last fight against Asu Almabayev, he was winning the entire fight until he wasn't. He shot for a sloppy takedown and got submitted via a guillotine. And that's typically the story with Alex Perez. So I'm rooting and going for Charles Johnson. I'm thinking he's going to keep the fight on the feet, be able to deny the takedown, rock Alex Perez. But I'm going with Charles Johnson by decision. All right, next up, we got Nikita Krylov versus Modestas Bukauskas. Nikita Krylov is 30-11, and in his last 5 fights, he's 3-2. And Modestas Bukauskas is 19-6, and in his last 5 fights, he is 4-1. Nikita Krylov is a well-rounded fighter, but primarily is looking to take you down. Meanwhile, Modestas Bukauskas is a kickboxer and is trying to keep the fight on the feet. Modestas Bukauskas should be able to stuff Nikita Krylov's takedowns, and Nikita Krylov recent fights isn't even trying to take you down. Primarily the reason why he's been losing. In his last 2 fights, he's been knocked out brutally by Dominic Reyes and Bogdan Guskov. Both in round 1, too. Modestas Bukauskas should be able to keep the fight on the feet. And I'm thinking Modestas Bukauskas should be able to knock out Nikita in round 1. I can't trust Nikita's chin. It's not looking good for Nikita. I think it's the beginning of the end for him. It's been the beginning of the end in his last 2 fights. So give me Modestas Bukauskas by KO in round 1. Up next, we have Atiba Gutier versus Andre Poliev. So last fight, I called a KO in round 1, and I'm going to say the same for this fight. Gutier is 9-1, and he's 5-0 in his last 5 fights. And Andre Poliev is 10-3, and he's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Andre Poliev is coming from the Contender Series. He's had 3 fights in the UFC. He's 2-1 in the UFC. But I think this is just going to be a slaughter. I think Atiba is just going to wreck him. Maybe in a round, but I'm going to take Atiba by KO in round 1. I don't think there's much to talk about. Up next, we got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Deiveson Figueiredo. Umar Nurmagomedov is 19-1, and in his last 5 fights, he's 4-1. And Deiveson Figueiredo is 25-5 with 1 no contest, and he is 3-2 in his last 5. So, in my opinion, I feel like this is big disrespect to both Umar and Deiveson. I feel like they both should be in the main card, getting replaced with Rose Namajunas and Natalia Silva. I feel like they should be in the prelims. But nonetheless, the main event for the prelims. So let's get to it. So Umar Nurmagomedov is a big favorite in this fight. I think he's a minus 1600. Yes, Umar should win this fight, but it's going to be a close fight. There's going to be a clear winner, but it's going to be close. Umar should be able to take Deiveson down, hold him there, do whatever he wants with him. He can stand his own on the feet too. He's a great kickboxer. He's primarily a kickboxer. A lot of people think he's just a wrestler because of his last name, but he's primarily a kickboxer. If need be, he can take the fight down. But he should be able to take Deiveson down, like I said, do whatever he wants. I think he's going to just ride a decision. That's typically what Umar likes to do and tends to do, is go to decision. So give me Umar by decision. Deiveson, his fighting career is coming to the tail end, and I don't know, I feel like he won't be able to do much. Maybe defend a takedown or 2, but Umar should be able to do whatever he wants, manhandle Deiveson, and like I said, Umar by decision. Alrighty, fellas, and opening up the card, we have Arnoldallen versus Jeansilva. Arnoldallen is 20-3, and in his last 5 fights, he's 3-2, only losing to Movsar Evloev and Max Holloway, the best in the division. And we got Jeansilva. Jeansilva 16-3, and he's 4-1 in his last 5, only losing to Diego Lopez, who's gonna be fighting for the featherweight belt against Volk next week. All right, boys. So this fight's gonna go down with Jeansilva coming in with some crazy offense. We know he's gonna try to clown Arnoldallen. That's what he typically does in his fights. But I think Arnoldallen is very technical, and he's smart enough to get out of the pocket and hit Jeansilva with range. And I got Jeansilva being crazy, coming crazy. You know, we're all expecting that. But Arnoldallen is smart enough to get out of there. And I think Arnoldallen should be able to stay out of the pocket, hit him with some shots outside, maybe use his legs to his advantage, and win a decision. It's going to be a very competitive fight. It might get to a split decision. And don't be surprised if it goes either way. But I got to take Arnoldallen by decision. Up next, we got Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. Natalia Silva is 19-5 with 1 no contest, and in her last 5, she's 5-0. And Rose Namajunas is 15-7, and in her last 5, she's 3-2. So I was saying that this fight should be the headliner of the prelim. I don't think that this should be in the main card. That's just my opinion, though, especially since Alexa Grasso pulled out against Rose. But nonetheless, this is on the main card, so let's get into it. Natalia Silva is a kickboxer. She loves to stay out of the pocket, keep the range, and just use her feet as her offense. She loves the kicks to the body, head kicks, and whenever she's in the pocket, she'll throw the 1-2. And she's technically the younger version of what Rose Namajunas used to be. Rose Namajunas, she's not the same fighter as she used to, as we can tell. She's 3-2 in her last 5, and those 2 losses coming from Blanchfield and Fiora. She's got the 3 wins, but those 3 wins aren't from top tier competition. Off the top of my head, her last one's from Amanda Maverick, and she's an alright fighter, but she loves to be on the ground. And Rose was able to keep it on the feet and just piece her up. And she's not going to be able to do the same with Natalia Silva. Natalia Silva is just on a different level. She should be fighting for the belt, but she's not. But I'm sure after she gets this win, she is going to be in title contention, maybe even fight for the belt. At the end of the day, I have to go with Natalia Silva. I have to go with Natalia Silva by decision. I think she'll just be able to stay out the pocket, throw her head kicks, leg kicks, body kicks, and like I said, if she's in the pocket, she'll throw her 1-2s, and then she'll just fade out. So give me Natalia Silva by decision. Up next, for the fight of the night, we got Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. Waldo Cortez Acosta is 16-2, and in his last 5 fights, he's 4-1. That loss coming from Sergey Pavlovich. And Derek Lewis is 29-12 with a 1 no contest, and in his last 5, he's 3-2. Both losses coming from grapplers/wrestlers in Jolton Almeida and Sergey Spivak. So Derek Lewis most likely is just gonna go for the KO. We all know he's the KO artist. He's gonna probably just go out there, bum rush, or try to bum rush Waldo Cortez and go for that KO. Meanwhile, Waldo Cortez, he's grown as a fighter. A lot of people didn't see him in the position he is in now, and he's grown a lot as a fighter. He didn't used to have a power, but we've seen him KO people. In his last fight, he actually KO'd somebody. I think Waldo Cortez should be able to get out of Derek Lewis's mayhem, and he should be able to take down Derek Lewis. Like I said, Derek Lewis was taken down by Jalton and Spivak, and he was held down, and they were able to ride out decisions. But Waldo is a finisher. I don't think he's gonna ride out a decision. He can, but I doubt it. He can go for a submission. He only has one submission, but I also doubt that. I think what Waldo's going to do is get out of Derek's mayhem, maybe gas him out a little bit, go for the takedown, and just ground and pound him. And all that being said, I think Derek Lewis should be able to survive the first round. Waldo maybe might try to gas him in the first, and then start going to work. I think Waldo's going to take down Derek Lewis in round 2 and hit him with some ground and pound. So give me Waldo Cortez Acosta, round 2 TKO. Alright, boys, and up next we got the co-main event, which is Sean O'Malley versus Songyadong. Sean O'Malley is 18-3 with 1 no contest, and in his last 5 fights, he's 3-2. Both losses coming consecutively by Merab Dvalishvili. And Songyadong is 22-8 with 1 and 1 no contest, and he's also 3-2. Those losses coming from Sandhagen and Piotr Jan, the current bantamweight champion. So Songyadong is a heavy striker who loves to mix it up. He can mix it up on. He can take you down. And Sean O'Malley, we all know what he's going to do. He wants to keep the fight on the feet and outstrike you from a distance. But Sean O'Malley has mentioned that he has mentioned retirement. We don't know where his headspace is at since he's coming off 2 losses. His last fight against Merab, he said he was going to lock in. He stopped playing around. He said he was going to win that belt, and look where it got him. He lost even worse than the fight before. And Songyadong, he's just a hungrier dog. He's a younger fighter. He's improving. He hasn't hit his prime, and I just think he's going to win. Like I said, Sean O'Malley's mentioned retirement, and when most fighters are already thinking about retirement, they got 1 foot out the door. So Songyadong, this is going to be the highlight of his career. If he wins against Sean O'Malley, people are going to know him. I feel like he's more niche. Not a lot of people know him. So if he's able to beat Sean O'Malley and with the co-main event, it's just going to bring a lot of eyes to him. So I think Songyadong should be able to win. Keep in mind, boys, it's a 5-round fight. That doesn't scare me, though. Song should be prepared. He knows this is an opportunity of a lifetime. So give me Songyadong by decision. I don't want to call anything. I think Sean O'Malley's going to be a tough out. So Songyadong by decision. All right, boys, and the moment we've all been waiting for, the main event, Justin Gaethje versus Paddypimblett. So Justin Gaethje is 26-5, and in his last 5 fights, he's 3-2. And Paddypimblett is 23-3, and in his last 5 fights, he's 5-0. Paddypimblett is looking to take the fight to the ground, but don't be surprised if he stays on the feet and try to play Gaethje's game. Justin Gaethje, we all know what he wants to do. He's going to stay on the feet and try to go for that knockout. I think he's going to try to get that knockout in 3 or less. That's what I'm thinking. But nonetheless, let's go into the details. Paddypimblett, offense is alright. A lot of people overrate him. A lot of people underrate him. I think his takedown defense isn't that good, especially with the competition he's had. Everyone he's been fighting is way over the edge. Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson. I don't think he'll be able to take down Gaethje. Yes, Gaethje is 37 years old, but Gaethje's wrestling it's alright. I think he'll be able to shove Paddypimblett down. And Paddy will be able to take down Gaethje. Yes, I don't doubt that at all. But I think Gaethje's going to be able to get back up. Gaethje is going to look to deny the takedowns and look to knock Paddypimblett's head off. I think Gaethje's going to win by KO because I think Paddy's just going to be way too aggressive and maybe even think his striking is on the level of Gaethje's. So give me Gaethje by knockout by round 3, round 4. I think if it goes to round 4 or round 5, it's just going to favor Gaethje even more because we all know Gaethje's gas tank is really good. So yeah, give me Gaethje by KO in round 3 to 4. All right, boys, those were all my picks and predictions for this week's fight card. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree, or maybe if I just have some crazy takes. Try to put all that in the comments down below. I'll try to read every single one, and I'll see you guys at the window. Till next time.